Will my relationship survive this? Are you okay? No one's asking that question enough. I just had a baby a month ago. Why do you think I'm trying to have a baby right after? 8 at night, I'm about to breastfeed my child and I can't. Wow, you should have 10 kids because I ain't never seen a girl look that good after having a baby. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Can I Be Honest, the podcast. Oh man, I have so much to say. So let me just give you guys a quick little update about life and how life has been going because I know you guys like that. I just uploaded the two videos actually. I uploaded the October vlog, which was very fun to edit, and thank you for that, y'all. I was so surprised that it even got 1,000 views because it was 2 hours. And for 1,000 people to sit down and watch my video for 2 hours and 9 minutes is such a blessing. And I'm so, so blessed and honored to even have 1,000 people sit there and click. And you guys know the views do not lie on YouTube. So having 1,000 people sit down and watch my video for 2 hours is just crazy. And I just feel so blessed. And I just feel so happy to have that. So thank you guys so much. That was very exciting and fun to edit. Yeah, it took me about like 3 weeks to edit because y'all know this season have been so busy. And let me talk about that real quick. I I just want to publicly say thank you to God, the Almighty, because coming out of maternity leave, dealing with postpartum weight loss, postpartum hair loss, having to deal with that and coming out of maternity leave, your first time mom, you're an influencer, you own your own business, and you're also a wife, and your husband has to eat, the household has to stay clean. It's a lot. And I just want to publicly say thank you to God because, y'all, the campaigns have never stopped. And I don't know if you guys know this, but campaigns are a bulk of our income as influencers. If I don't get any campaigns, I'll be solid. Bills will be paid. Everything will be paid by the grace of God just from my videos and the content that I push on a daily. But when I say campaigns are literally where the money is at, and when you're in a field like that that's constantly changing, you have to constantly change as well. And for people to just wait on me, for brands to be able to wait on me, because the brands knew that I was pregnant before the public knew, obviously, because you can't tell me that you want me to advertise a retinol product and I'm pregnant. I can't do it, right? It's so crazy how brands literally waited when they heard that I was pregnant. It was like, congratulations, skincare brands, body care brands that has products that can alter, the pregnancy that can harm me. They waited. They waited after I had the baby and even after postpartum or like when I was waiting to come back to work. Like it's a blessing. And to be able to just take off 3 months and we're okay, we're good, furnished a home, did a lot of renovations. I almost said regenerations, but we did a lot of renovations, furnished a home, threw a big baby shower in the home. And not having to work is a blessing. I feel like that's all the work that I've been doing throughout the years that literally allowed me and my family to just sit back and just chill. And of course, I have a strong backbone, which is my husband, and I thank God for him every day. He's the reason why the CHERYSTV is here today. He told me literally when I lost my job to go ahead and focus on the CHERYSTV. He got us financially, and he definitely had us, and he still have us to this day. It's such a blessing, and I'm just really excited. So it's Q4, and baby boy is 7 months as I'm speaking today. He is growing so fast. He is so smart, and it's crazy how he's a baby. He didn't know nothing, and he's starting to learn things. It's crazy. It's just me just looking at it. I feel like crazy is the word that I can describe crazy because I'm just looking at him like, wow, when did this happen? So yeah, he's 7 months. We took our 6 month photos in October. We're now in November and we're halfway through November. And I looked at my calendar this morning. I took a screenshot, and what I'm gonna do is take a picture of it, well, print it out and put it in my office. The calendar was full, y'all, with all the work that I have. We're not even in December yet. So I'm just feeling very grateful in this season. And yeah, like it's crazy. This Saturday, I would like to take my family to the fall festival since it's the last day. I'm not sure yet. Let's see how that goes. But on Sunday, we're going to take fall photos with the girls, which is very exciting because we don't usually have that time together because I'm a new mom. I'm running a business. I'm a lifestyle content creator as well, slash beauty, slash fragrance. It's just a lot. And then they have their own thing going on too. It's crazy how we are so busy, but we still found a way to get together and take fall photos. This is going to be our first official photos, and I don't even know why. If you guys are watching this, why is this our first photo? Like, that's crazy. We've been friends for over a decade, which is insane. But that's pretty much what's going on right now. And I haven't been in church, y'all. It's just so freaking hard with all my deadlines. I have not been in church. And by the time I wake up to really like get it virtually, I haven't been doing that either. And I just feel so ashamed. But Sunday will be the last day that I don't go to church. I said I am going to go to church. If I'm making time for these campaign, I have to make time for Jesus. He's the reason why I have him in the first place. So I don't want him to take the back burner at all. He has to be in the front and center. But yeah, so those are some updates with me and my family. Husband's doing really good at his job. He's looking good. As far as my fitness journey, I'm still on my fitness journey. I literally just stopped walking only because one, this season has been so busy, and two, I'm doing most of my workouts at home and at the gym. I've only went to the gym twice, but I'm gonna incorporate more of me going to the gym. I started off walking because I had a C-section. So having a C-section, I can't just go jump into the gym. So I made sure that I was able. So I started walking, and I started walking on hills. Y'all, I'm gonna go back to the walking as well. I wanna do walking a few days out of the week and the gym a few days because walking is such a freeing time, especially during postpartum. So yeah, that's a few updates of me. But on today's episode, I really wanted to dive into, I know that was a long opening, but on today's episode, I really wanted to dive into questions that you get after having a baby. Okay. The most common and the most insensitive questions moms hear, new moms at that. Let's start with some questions that you get immediately after having birth. And it's crazy because a lot of people don't realize that you just pushed, you just went into surgery to have a baby. You don't want to be answering no questions. And find that some of these questions that I've gotten are crazy because it's from mothers as well. And when I get into the details, you guys will understand why I think it's crazy that mothers are asking this because you've been through it before and it's hard to understand how you don't understand. I'm starting to really believe that after you have your baby, after a time has passed, you do forget. I'm starting to believe that because me, after having my baby, after having that C-section, I said, I don't care how many times, I don't care how much time passed by. I don't care how many times I see his cute little face. One and done. Everyone's saying that, oh, you're going to forget about how you feel right now and you're going to have the baby again and again and again. You're going to have another baby. And I'm just like, nah, I'm going to remember every time I get baby fever, which is funny because I've never had baby fever. Because I've always just been one of, if it happened, it happened. If it doesn't, I'm okay. So obviously it happened, right? So I don't know how the feeling of having baby fever feels like. Um, so I hope I can handle that, but I would like to know that I can. I have really good self-discipline in some aspects, in some areas of my life, so I would love to know that I can, so it's just really hard for me to understand how it was actually, because now I'm starting to rewire my brain because I'm like, "You went through this, and you should have known how annoying it is and how bad it feels when people used to ask you these questions. Why are you asking me these questions, right?" So let's dive into it because I just find it very crazy. And I understand why people ask because they're curious, but I just want to know what do you gain from it because unless you never had a child, right? And when before I had a kid, the number one thing I was asking, did it hurt and do you snap back? I didn't ask about breastfeeding. I didn't ask about all these other crazy questions that can cause more postpartum depression. So let's talk about it, okay? And can I be honest with you guys? Like, no, for real, can I be honest? Because I'm gonna literally tell you guys exactly how I feel. My opinions. Oh, by the way, my opinions sometimes are unpopular. So if you don't like that, this is probably the time for you to click out the video. So, and I have my notes here because you guys know that I type tap my notes. So I have notes here on my phone and yeah, I'm always writing down my notes, especially when it comes to these episodes, because I'm not gonna forget. I'm not gonna remember what I want to talk about. So the first thing I wrote down, which was one of the most common questions that I constantly got, was, "So when are you having number two?" And I'm like, "Number two? What are you talking about? So when are you having baby number two?" The pressure that comes from that is insane. I just had a baby. I literally just pushed the baby out. I just had a C-section. What do you mean when I'm gonna have baby number 2? Can I heal from this baby first? And I thought that after 6 weeks, the healing process was like, no, I just found out today that it can take up to 2 years for a woman to feel normal. Now, I honestly start to feel normal about, I wanna say 4 or 5 months. Like, I feel like myself now. Like, I feel like my normal self. I feel like I am back like how I was before. I literally feel like myself again. But I remember the first few weeks, the first month, I just had lost 20 plus pounds. I felt like my body was just weird. It was folded. Now I feel better because I'm getting that water weight again. So I gained some water weight and I feel a little bit more fuller um in my, certain areas. But before it was crazy. So that's so much pressure that you putting on someone that just had a baby. Like, I'm just like, why do people ask these questions? Um, y'all, why? How early people ask is what baffles me because literally, I just had a baby a month ago. Why do you think I'm trying to have a baby right after, especially if you had a traumatizing birth? Now, I would understand if the birth was not traumatizing. You had one of the most prettiest births stories. You had butterflies in the room. Jesus came down and and poured gold on your baby's head. I would understand, but no, that's not for everybody, especially not me. I don't want to think about having a baby in 4 or 5 days. It's crazy. Now, I do know some girls, like I said earlier, that have the beautiful birth stories. After the 6-week appointment, they get pregnant again. The only reason why they got pregnant again is because they wanted to. My 6-week appointment was on Tuesday. On Monday, I went and made sure that I was good. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, another question. Are you breastfeeding or formula feeding? My thing is, I struggled breastfeeding. And I said I wanted to breastfeed at least 6 months, right? I was only able to get to 3. The guilt that people made me feel, and I didn't even at the moment when they were asking me, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that." I didn't even feel guilty. It's when late at night, I'm about to breastfeed my child and I can't. And then all of a sudden, all of these questions and the concerns, everybody's opinion started to slap me in the head, and I started to feel guilty like, "Oh my gosh, how why am I not um producing? Why this? Why that? Well, this person so and so did it like that. So and so did this, so and so did that. Is my body broken?" Okay? It's crazy. The mom guilt is crazy. So if you're someone, especially if you were a mom too, let the person come up to you in conversation and say, "Yeah, I've been breastfeeding and stuff like that," or "Yeah, I'm formula feeding." But I just feel like it's a little rude to, and I'm not trying to be sensitive, y'all, but it's only because I've been on that side now. I understand. It's crazy. A simple question could really make someone feel very depressed. I feel like if you really wanna know if they're eating, just say, how's the eating? Is the baby eating right?" There's a way you can ask without asking. They'll be like, "Yeah, baby's eating right. He's eating formula or she's breastfeeding, she latches on." I had to learn how to make my baby latch. I had preeclampsia, and having preeclampsia means that you are swollen, and every water that you drink and, water that's in your body stays there. It's not moving, it's not going anywhere. So you guys, I had the milk the entire time in my breast, but right in front of the milk was blockage. What was that? Water. And thank God for nurses, and I had someone that helped me. What is she called? The dang, I forgot the title, but she specialized in making sure to show you how to breastfeed. When I tell you guys, she said, "It's because you just had preeclampsia. Do not be do not be worried." She took my breast and she said, "Just massage going backwards. And then you will, once you do that and then you press your nipple or whatever, you will see milk coming out." When she did that, the first time she massaged it, she was like, "Can I said, "Sure, why not? Like, y'all done just seen my whole vagina. Y'all cut me 7 layers down. Like, my titty, it's okay for you to show me exactly what you're trying to show me." And she showed me, she was massaging back, literally, she pressed and then milk started to So I just feel like it's very insensitive, like, cause you don't know what people go through to get it. So, yeah, no, baby. Just be mindful. Here's a crazy question that I heard. This one really shocked me because people were asking me, "When are you gonna go back to your pre-baby body?" What do you mean? I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to gain weight, you know? If anything, I'm trying to gain muscle and lose weight. I'm trying to gain discipline and lose weight. So, I'm just like, where do y'all guys get these questions from? Y'all pull them out y'all ass or what? Like, where do y'all get them from? People do not understand that body comments are so like, that's the last thing that you should be talking about. I feel like even if you say, "Damn, this girl snapped back," because I've always said that too. Whenever someone have a baby, I'm like, "Oh, you snap back real good." You don't know if they have issues with body dysmorphia. They probably think that they are gaining more weight, and you physically see that they're losing it. I think I have that too because everyone's telling me that I'm losing the weight, and I just don't see it until I look at another picture. It took me looking into another video and a picture before I had the baby, or before I was even pregnant, to see that I did lose some weight. Um, but asking me when I'm gonna go back to the baby weight, like, what do you mean? Are you mad that I lost weight? Or are you saying that I look sick? Like, some of these questions just is mentally, for someone that is not strong mentally, those questions can really go far, especially someone that's an overthinker. I'm an overthinker. And I would like to say that I'm strong mentally, but you just never know because you never know what can happen to get you to a point where you're just like, "Oh, I'm done." Okay? So you never really know. But one thing I will say that triggered me a little bit. It really did. Because I'm like, why y'all the ones that's always picking on me about my weight? And now that I'm losing it and I'm trying to maintain the 20 pounds that I lost, y'all want me to go back to being fatter? Like, it's crazy. And someone told me too, wow, you should have 10 kids because I ain't never seen a girl look that good, snap back that good after having a baby. I was like, well, damn, tell me I was ugly. Why don't you? Tell me. Tell me that I was ugly because, wow, that was one of the number one questions I got was, when am I gonna go back to my body weight, and people are commenting how good I look outside of that. Like, dang, that's what you needed. You were never ugly. You just needed to have a beep. And I'm not talking about the girls that really genuinely commenting on how good I look. I'm talking about the people that's giving backhanded compliments like, "Damn, you should have like 5 kids, 'cause you look that good. I ain't never seen someone that look this good after having a baby. You should have 5 more." What the hell? But anywho, y'all, that's a crazy question. And I was just like, I don't know if anybody else is getting that. So comment down below. But that's a question that I've gotten so much. And I was just like, what is what is life? Like where are you guys grabbing these questions from? Like, what do you mean? I didn't even know how to answer that question. Like I literally said, what do you mean? Why would I want to go back to the weight that I was if I'm 20 pounds lighter? You know? But anywho, are you okay? And I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm not against that question at all. I actually like that question because are you okay, right? But I feel like no one's asking that question enough. Everyone's worried about when I'm going to have another baby. Everyone's worrying about if my baby is getting breast milk or formula, but no one's worrying about am I okay? I got that question the least. Obviously, they just want to be in your business. That's why they ask the other questions. But like if you have a friend that just had a baby, ask them how they're doing. Now, don't ask them overly, like all the time, like every 2 seconds, because then it's gonna be annoying, right? But like, ask them, are you okay? I can count on one hand how many of my friends ask me, "Am I okay? Are you okay?" I'm not mad at it, but most people don't really ask because they really don't care. As long as they see you breathing, they're not gonna ask you how you doing, because especially in this economy and this time that we're living, people don't have time to be listening to your problems because they got their own problems, okay? That's how I put it in my head because they got their own problems. Like, because me, I honestly don't care that much. Like, I am 30 years old and I realize that wasting your time caring about little things is literally wasting your time, right? And I don't got time to waste, okay? So I just felt like that one was funny when I looked at that. I wasn't even gonna mention it, but I was just like, no, I need to mention it because not enough people are asking, are you okay? You don't know. You don't know. Like some days I'm okay. Some days I'm just like, oh, I can't get this work done. And some days I'm in heaven. I'm like, oh my gosh, this was the best thing I ever did. And I'm not gonna lie, some days I'm like, why did I do this again? But by the end of the day, I'm like, ah, those cheeks, the smiles. I understand why I did it. But it's so weird. It's so weird though, but it's like a roller coaster. Like you're good and then you go whoop, and then you're good and then you go whoop whoop whoop. It's so crazy, but it's such a it's such a fun place to be at. And I'm not mad that I did this. I'm not mad at all. I don't regret it. And I don't regret the time that I did it too, because baby, the stuff that I can provide for my son now, be able I would not be able to provide it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. So I'm very happy um, that I did this now. Now I want to talk about questions that I've asked myself, and I'm a I'm gonna just share it with you guys because if you're asking yourself the same question and you just had a baby, it's okay. We've all been there. So the first one I've asked myself is my old life gone forever? And that has to do with identity shifts, friendships changing, and balancing ambition with childhood. As you guys know, I am a business owner. Okay, I have a influencing business. I pay taxes every year. Crazy taxes, to be exact. Taxes that no human being should be ever paying. It's a lot. But there's things that there's things that I had to pay monthly to keep this business running. It's a real business, you guys. And this was probably the craziest thing that I've ever done. Having a baby and taking 3 months off. Like I literally took a chance to test my business to see if my business can take care of me. Because it's one thing you prepare for that, but it's another thing like you're in it and now you're gonna see, All right, I prepared. Let me see if you're really up to if you can do it for real. And I spent 3 months off, and that was maternity leave, and I spent 4 months not working at all. I was just chilling, enjoying my pregnancy. So how much is that? That's 7, right? 7 months of not really clocking in. To you guys, it may have seemed like it, but no, I was done. I told my management company that I am not going to be working. So in January, we were really done. And yeah, y'all, I spent that entire 7 months not lifting a finger unless I wanted to. And by the grace of God, my business was running good. But the thing that was killing me every single day was if and after I have the baby, will I be able to go back? And if you're having that same question, you are. You'll be able to. There's going to be some shifts. There's going to be some adjustments that you have to do. You're going to have to wake up a little extra early, go to sleep a little later, especially if you want the business to succeed. But you're going to be just fine. You're not going to go back to your old life. Take that out of your mind. It's not, because you just created a new life. But as long as you nourish this new life, you'll be able to pull from the old life and just make it part of your new life. Like, it's not easy for me to get up and create content right now. My husband is currently upstairs playing with baby boy. After he got off of work, he could have easily just sit on the couch and chill, watch his game. It's game seasons right now. Drink a beer and just have a good time while I'm chilling with my baby. But no, I allowed you to clock in. Now it's my time to clock in. So it's a lot of compromising and sacrificing, but your life will go back to normal. I don't know. I keep hitting my mic, y'all. Your life will go back to normal. I don't know if it's gonna go back to what it was, but if you still have that same drive that you had, and I think that's what makes me win, because my drive is out of this world. My drive is out of this world. Some people be forgetting that I just had a baby until I pop up with a new video of me and baby Micah. My management company are like, wow, we have never seen anyone. Like, they literally told me they never seen anyone snap back like that, like how you did. And I'm not talking about physically, but like back to the work, like I never left. It literally felt like I never left, because even when I was on a break, there was content that was scheduled and they were just uploading like this because I prepared for it. So, if you're questioning, if you're questioning yourself about that, as long as you just show up and do your best, you'll be okay. Another question that I used to ask myself is, why do I feel guilty no matter what I do? Mom guilt around walking, resting, eating, and leaving. In the house, everything. How do I recognize and release it? And still, I don't understand it. I don't have an answer to that. But I started to realize the reason why I kind of feel mom guilt is because I don't want to let my son down, and I don't want him to feel like he's not important, because all he knows is me. I'm his world. He doesn't know anything else. He only knows me and his dad. Occasionally, he'll see family members and friends. So what do you mean you have to put me down so you can go film a video? What do you mean you have to put me down so that way you can eat food? When I tell you guys, the mom guilt killed me. Everyone prepared me for postpartum depression, because that's the most common, most popular thing that we deal with. And I'm not knocking it, but I really feel like I prepared myself for motherhood. Like, I really prepared myself for motherhood. I did not, and no one told me about the guilt. No one. And it's not their job, right? It's really not their job. But the mom guilt, if anything is killing me after having this baby, is the mom guilt. I be feeling so guilty when I'm trying to eat while he's eating. I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, honestly, today I have not eaten, but he's been good. I feel so guilty to take some time off to eat. And when I do have some time off, I'm like, ooh, let me get some work done. Like, earlier, I had so much things to get done this morning, as far as editing campaigns and stuff, and he was on my lap, and he was whining, and I had to stop for a moment, and I felt so guilty that I chose the work over him. I didn't really choose the work over him. I was just trying to balance both of them, and sometimes I can do it, but sometimes I can't. And always ask myself, "Why do I feel so guilty?" I shouldn't be feeling guilty, right? But it's it's something that comes with the territory. So, if you are feeling guilty, I will like to tell you that it's gonna be okay, but I'm literally saying this because I'm trying to believe it myself. I don't know when it's gonna stop. I don't know if it's gonna ever stop, but if you're dealing with mom guilt, you're not alone. I'm here with you, girl. I'm here with you. I'm here with you. I be feeling so guilty. I've been feeling so guilty. Like I just came from Atlanta and I felt the most craziest, craziest. Some people say I should be an actor. And I think I'm gonna be an actor. You know why? Because if you was looking at my videos, you wouldn't even know that I was feeling guilty. But literally after every single clip, after every single like rah-rah dancing stuff, I was checking my phone, texting my husband if he's okay, checking the Hubble app to see him. So yeah, y'all. The mom guilt is crazy. So comment down below how you dealt with it because I'm the only thing that's pushing me is telling myself that I shouldn't be feeling guilty because that's what most people would have said. But I don't know. Like, ugh. That is something that I'm currently dealing with, and I don't know when it's gonna stop. But if you are dealing with it too, like I said, girl, you're not alone, honey. Another question that I always ask myself, and I'm about to you know, get a little personal, but I said I was gonna be honest. And here we go. Will my relationship survive this? See, I can't even say it because it's so personal. And I don't usually get so personal, but will my relationship survive this? Communicating needs, the mental load, partner dynamics, changing, sex and intimacy after baby. Let's just go ahead and talk about the sex because yeah. Um that was hard. Oh baby, how hard was that? That was very hard because I had a C-section. So I was scared that my little tummy was gonna rip open. But it didn't. But it took some time for me to be comfortable. And I'm in this new body. Like I didn't just come back and went back to my old body. I literally left my old body and came to a new body. I lost 20 pounds and y'all, it may not look like it because I still wear my clothes, the same clothes. I was not gonna buy no new clothes. But y'all, like I feel like my clothes are swallowing me. Especially when I lost that water weight because they gave me this shot to drain out all the water. So I lost 20 pounds of my weight fat, but I also lost at least 10 pounds of water weight. So technically 30, but I gained that slowly back. Y'all, I did not feel good. I felt so ugly. My stomach looks the same, but it just was like the same, but just like, um, and my husband would be like, "Damn, you look good." And I would literally be like, "No, I don't. I don't even know who this is." I'm showering and I'm just like lifting up my arms and I just feel so weird because I'm just like, this used to be heavier. Why does it feel like this? And honestly, I'm still dealing with that because I don't know. Like, so it took some time for us to get there, but when we finally got there, even after breastfeeding my son, I know we shouldn't mix those two, but I don't even like this area being touched anymore after having my it's been 7 months since I've had him, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna go back, and this area was my favorite part. I don't know if I can go back to that now, so, um, that's something that I've dealt with. Okay, communication. Oh, baby, we have no issue communicating because if I need something, Imma tell you right now. Imma tell you right now, like, I need the break. Take your child, I need the break, you know? I don't think our communication skills, have differed. I feel like if anything, it'll be on my husband's side because he's probably trying to not upset me and just try not to offend me, and I could see sometimes he holds back, and I'm like, "No, you can talk. You can let me know because if I'm doing something wrong or if I'm not doing or if I'm doing too much or whatever it is, let me know." So I had to clock that real quick and let him know, like, "I do not want you to be walking around me on eggshells," and I had to make him comfortable. He just didn't wanna offend me. Child, so the mental load, honestly, it's gonna happen, like, you're gonna feel some type of way, especially if you have a husband like mine that is also a musician. So he's constantly leaving the house, sometimes he leaves me with the baby, and mentally, that be heavy, but I had to talk about it. I felt like that's what helped me. So when he would come home, I'd be like, "Yeah, I felt this way when you left. I felt like I didn't have no more help. I felt like you left me." Like I'm dramatic. If y'all didn't know this, I am such a drama queen. So when I'm expressing my feelings, there's no way you're gonna tell me that I did not tell you how I felt. I'm such a dramatic queen. I'm gonna tell you plus more. I'm gonna put facial expressions. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna make it animated because that's how I am. Okay, so there's no way you're gonna tell me that you don't know how I feel. So the mental load, what helped me with that was just literally communicating. And yeah. And if you find yourself not being able to communicate and you're a new mom, literally just open your mouth. Write it down. Find a way to let it out because it's going to kill you for real. And the last question that I asked myself was, will I ever feel like myself again? And honestly, you guys, I used to ask that because I just felt so weird. I felt like the body that I was in was not mine. But I'm here to tell you that yeah, you will feel yourself again. You're not gonna feel like your 18-year-old self. You're not gonna feel like your 25-year-old self. Um, but you're gonna feel like yourself again. Okay. And the funny thing is, the way you feel is gonna be your new norm. And I don't want you to think that that's a bad thing. Like if you lost weight or if you gain weight, that's gonna be your new norm, but it don't have to be. You could change it. Like me, I said I do not. Uh, okay, my phone is over here talking about nice to meet you. I've had you for a while. This is not our first time meeting, but yeah, like me, I love the fact that I lost the 20 pounds, even though it was weird in the beginning. Now I want to lose more and maintain it. So what am I doing? I'm getting up and walking. I literally motivated about 100 girls to get up and move their body just by me moving my body and documenting it on Instagram stories. I don't do that often. I don't share it. Just because I don't share it often doesn't mean that I'm not doing it. I'm just too busy doing it, you know? Um, and my platform is not for working out. So I don't want to share that too much on my Instagram, but that's where I used to share it. But I have a whole group chat of women just sharing pictures and just showing me that they're working out today. They got up and moved their body, and it just makes me so proud. So that question, will you ever feel like yourself again? You will, or you won't, but you can make a change. You could definitely change that. So yeah, y'all, those were some of my questions that I've asked myself and questions that I felt like that was crazy that people ask me that I just still to this day cannot put my finger on as to why they ask those questions. But I hope that if you are watching this and you used to ask those questions, be a little bit more mindful and just think about the person's mental health and their feelings because me mentally, I was able to take it, but it will hit you. It will because it did hit me too. Like, what do you mean like I'm a bad mom for not breastfeeding my child? How you gonna assume that? Just because I said I'm not breastfeeding doesn't mean that there's not a reason behind it. I didn't just choose to not breastfeed. Cause honestly, if I had the choice, I would have continued. I know there's some women that do choose to not breastfeed because they just don't want their boobs to drop, and I'm cool with that. That's how you feel, whatever. But I just stopped breastfeeding because I honestly could not anymore. My body was like, "All right, I'm tapped out." And I tried everything. I literally tried everything. So you guys have to be mindful. It could be the most simplest question and it could really like mess up that person, trigger that person, and allow them to have like the worst day or even the worst week. So just be mindful. And then, of course, if you asked yourself these questions that I've asked myself, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is for you to know that you're not alone and it does get better. Um, every day that goes by is a day that you're closer to being yourself again, closer to getting back into the groove of things. And every day that passes by, the baby gets older. So, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this segment. I'm really happy that you guys allow me to be honest because I just feel like in this time, there's so many people that's being fake on social media that we just need some honesty, no matter how brutal or how unpopular it is. I'm going to share my opinion. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. If it is your first time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and subscribe to all the streaming platforms until we see each other again. Bye, y'all.